Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome back to Galaxy Battle. My name's Sir Danny. This time around, I'm joined here by Sheep. And fact of the matter is, we were supposed to cast another game of Counter-Strike, but apparently it was Sinners that got the technical win, and so we're only left with one best of three. But a best of three that should deliver, as it's going to be Monte versus Partizan. So, Sheep, initially, right before we jumped into the broadcast that went on live here, we talked about that this is kind of a matchup where, yeah, both teams have been kind of losing a lot of games of Counter Strike, right?
Yeah, it feels Christmas with the amount of red that you see when you open the HLTV page. It is not been the greatest of times for both teams, of course. You have to lose two matches already to end up in this 0-2 bracket. But yeah, we were just talking about it before the game went live. Partizan finished 4th in the CCT Global Finals. After that, they've only won 2 series. Everything else have been straight up losses. So, yeah, you get a very good result at a major tournament, like a major tier 2 tournament, but then it's disappointing. And you, on the other hand, had something to say about the Monte team with their new additions.
Indeed. In my eyes, when I saw the additions of Afro and Haji, initially I thought like that is a great pickup, right? I feel like these two
Yep.
players can definitely just raise the floor of this team, which I feel like that was exactly that was necessary. And for me, the most dissatisfying part is that okay, if you judge this roster as if it were, let's say, Monty Gent, right? And you got these youngsters on the block and whatnot. You could say the results are, somewhat okayish, being somewhat like top 70, top 80 in the world. But if I'm judging this as, a Monty core, I feel like they have been, a bit underwhelming because they've been just a bit too inconsistent for my liking because you'll have moments where they can absolutely destroy teams like Spirit Academy. They could have close games
Yep.
against Nemiga, against Ecstatic. At the same time, it feels like they can lose to just about anyone.
Yeah, and I have a feeling ever since this Monte core kind of became what it is now, I have a feeling they just like have yet not been able to shake that off. And as you said, the changes thus far haven't felt like they've changed anything. But we'll head into the veto as per the graphics. We see Nuke getting picked first from Monty. That is not that much of an oddity. Dust 2, Partizan could have gone for Anubis. Both are not really great on it, so a bit more comfort on Dust. And then the deciders, Mirage. So not really any surprise. Inferno and Train, both permabans. It could have been that we'd see an Ancient, but yeah, that won't happen in here. So,
Yeah,
no Ancient, but yeah.
and the interesting part is as well that we're seeing this map being picked, even though if you just take a look on, HLTV stats past 3 months and you see, okay, they seem to have a pretty good track record on the map. But I feel like a lot of that is just the fact that they had some pretty big wins 2 months prior, maybe 1 month prior, before the additions of Afro, of Haji. If you take a look, have they been playing on the map? Let's say these past couple of weeks or just the month, let's say, it hasn't been that great. They have been a bit up and down, not really having consistent victories. It's good that at least on this map, they seem to be capable of beating the lesser teams on it because I feel like Nuke still remains more or less of a curveball for a lot of teams in CS2
Yeah.
because, with the map pool additions, well, Train and Vertigo being out, I feel like some teams ended up either banning out this map or Train in this case. I do feel like, heading into a map like this, I feel like you need to have a tactical foundation on it. For the side of Monty, you know, they seem to have it. Gizmy seems to be enjoying this map, so he's got the helm
Yeah.
on it. But it'll be interesting to see how well can Partizan perform on the get-go. First pistol round, it is Partizan on the CT side, Monty on T side, and to kick things off, we might see an early ramp play.
It's one set of the dualies already there, and as soon as I mention that, he books it. Let's see if Depression can hold on here on the site, and does fall back, but that's a lot of space taken for Monty to play with. As we see Gizmi, he's been the top frag on this map quite often for his team. See the CTs kind of keeping Monte out of this. Congratulations, you've taken CT spawn.
Ooh. Vladin hasn't spotted a single player. This could get awkward super fast. Gizmi might have some good timing on Vladin if he just runs around the corner, but oh, Vladin. Oh, he's exposed. That should be now Monte. You know, making some noise towards the A side of things, but I still feel like with 40 seconds remaining, they might potentially back their way in lobby, go for the usual hut push, and Gizmi doesn't seem to be aware of Vladin's position. That is a slick headshot.
Yeah, they go for the re-clear of top ramp. You see Ryu just chiming in with one. This is one of the weirdest pistol rounds I've seen on Nuke in a while. Monty's not making it easy for themselves, but the kills are now coming through, and Ryu just making sure he's the most difficult target he can be. And in a 3 versus 3, this bomb goes down. I am still baffled at how this round went. Then Ryu goes for the long way around. How do you get back into this as CT? I think this retake pretty much set and done. Yeah, especially now. Depression 1v3. Not gonna happen. Danny, I have no clue what that pistol round was, but apparently it works.
I'll give you that. It really did work. I mean, it did work out for Monte. Initially, it felt like going down ramp wasn't part of their agenda. They wanted to take hell control and potentially move up heaven. But one of the biggest problems is how do you eliminate the heaven player? Because he is in a pretty good position, to be fair. And it's no wonder that some of those Ts went on to CT spawn, trying to get a glimpse of him. And I feel like, you know, them slowing down the clock, even returning back towards lobby, and then hitting the A side through hut, and also Ryu, some really lovely positioning. Not going for the gunfight on the heaven player, just, you know, baiting him. And that actually allowed the hut players to move onto the side that did not have a heaven player, and that is huge, because that's always the most daunting task, right? You want to hit the upper bomb side, and you're always aware that there could be someone on rafters, but that's usually not the first gunfight you aim for. And so, yeah, Monte, great victory, but obviously, second round it is, and Partizan have gone for the reinvestment.
Which on like I talk about this quite often. It's like on Nuke, yes, I pretty much always go for it. It's so many awkward angles that these 5.7s can just destroy you in. And I'm gonna wait and see if something with that happens now. But Monte don't seem to be in any sort of hurry. It's Haji gonna lead the way. Single SMG. Yeah.
Oh.
Alright.
A lot of good work being done by Lonesome Vladin. The MP9 finding 2, and now Depression waiting for a chance to strike as the players move on to the side. They're yet to check his corners, but it's not a big problem. Ryu is there, but so is Dragon. Will eventually go down, and ooh, yeah, again, it's always so scary to see the T side eventually just commit on the upper bomb side, because there's just so many of these close quarters engagements that can really go the way of the CTs. And like you said, 5.7s can do a lot of good work, but so can the MP9.
It did get quite close. Am I seeing another reinvestment? I'm seeing another MP9 on Vladan. With the 2 kills that he got with the MP9, probably allowed him to buy another one. Not sure if I'm that much of a fan. I think Depression would have enough for the op, but my math skills are quite below average. So I have no clue.
As we could see, though.
Ooh, Zeus.
Yeah. Being picked up close. That we'd love to see it. But, you know, we haven't really talked about the elephant in the room, is that they don't have Emmy here in the mix. Looks like Partizan will be playing with a stand-in in the form of depression, because I do believe Emmy has departed the roster,
Yes.
and I feel like, yeah, Emmy was a pretty big piece in terms of, finding. He was just that sole classic entry fragger, but past couple months has been a little bit underwhelming. Luckily here, Lean, this should be just an easy hit on the bomb side. Not losing a single player is great for the T side, and no Zeus action also.
Yeah, too bad for us. Also, getting all of the kills with Mag 10s, I assume at least, if Gizmy gets this. All 5 kills out of the Mag 10s, so maximizing the money that Monte get. You can see that on the right side of your screen. Lots of green for the mixed team. But yeah, it's indeed like this change again with Partizan. Right when they were doing really well again, they just seemed to lose that edge that managed to get them that far in the CCT Global Finals. That gave them a good shot against better teams. That's I mean, Counter-Strike moves fast, but it feels a very long time ago already that they've been consistently winning games.
Oh, Dragon. Feeling the pressure and instantly backs away. But there is a bit of a problem. Collins is the only player on the lower bomb side, and they have given a lot of free roam to work with. Lead in a prime position. And I feel like that's it. That is the round over. Monte take control of lower bomb side, basically uncontested.
Yeah, that wasn't too great in terms of rotational defense of Partizan. I did see some people even saying Madden was gonna stand in for Partizan. Apparently, but I reckon that's quite off the mark there. But I mean, these rotates going down a bit too early, and Dragon does just now find a kill. I mean, you can play that passive. I'm fine with that, with leaving ramp that quickly, but then you at least need vent control, right? You can't let this happen and not have vent. So yeah, hopefully they'll look at that and realize that they do probably realize. I'm confident, so let's hope it's not going to be that easy for Monte.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that Dragon was supposed to be a lot more proactive in that round, and I would assume Collins just didn't think that his teammate backed away or did not give him vital information of what was going on. Now he does change up his position. In fact, we have almost a 3-man setup outside. Ooh. Collins with the off angle. He's good for one, but you're just so exposed in this position. Luckily, he's still alive, but one good nade could just, get the better of him just like that. Great win by Haji, great throw, but that player could be distracting them from the real aim, and that's going to be Dragon in a prime position, waiting for a chance to strike. When will he reveal himself? Will he be patient? Does he want to go now? Looks like he chooses the latter option, and he gets another big kill for the squad. Afro should be going down, but he's doing a lot of good work. Lonesome Dragon is so low in HP, but it's the headshot. Oh, a second huge frag. And Afro, what a stellar round. He had no chance of finding so much impact.
An awesome start to the round here from Collins, and they want to continue to work on that. They want to push them down. It's a 4v2 as they feed into Afro, who with low bullets just hits every single shot. On the other end of the map, it was Lean getting the other kill. That was a 2v4. And Partizan, in their hunger to, close it out quick, find that confidence, they, pretty much just instantly give it up. That's not gonna do well for your confidence in the future. That's not too great.
No, I mean, that was a messy round, right? Partizan They initially get the two opening frags. They still have even two players at outside, and you're thinking they should coordinate that one just a little bit more effectively. At the end, though, they do go for the tactical timeout, and Monte are sitting comfortably with 5 rounds on the T side of Nuke. I mean, already this is a huge task they've undergone, and even if they end the half with 5 rounds, that's already a decent, I'd say, scoreline. But the fact is, I expect more out of Monte.
I mean, even if right, their money's still so far away from being broken, and I can't see a scenario where even if their money gets broken, that they don't just outright win a Tech 9 round. It's a steep uphill climb here for Partizan, and Depression won't be able to guard Mini. Will be able to guard outside though. Going down. Ryu gets the first whiff of Vladan through that smoke. Does eventually pull the trigger. 4 versus 4 as Partizan tries to quite desperately sort of reset this top bomb site.
They got the players, they got the bodies to spare, but can they find the frags? And I feel like the answer is a big yes. Lean and Afro still left standing. They got the bomb on their shoulders, but man, there's a lot of pressure on Lean. He might find some good timing, but he goes down. Depression's got the high angle. And just like that, Partizan, they at least claimed this one, but undoubtedly, having almost all the players on the upper bomb side helped. And it's also great to see that Depression find a fair amount of impact in this round.
Yeah. Finally, first kills on the board. Took him a while. Also, quickly want to mention, of course, we previously had the exclamation mark Galaxy for the giveaway. If you haven't seen it yet, it's at the top right of your screen. We are now doing it with channel points. So, you can see at the bottom of the chat, you see the channel points, you can add those as, well, rolling the dice is Monte on an upper take, which looks like gonna be a quick closeout here again. Oh, man.
It is really lovely to see some of those moments where Haji just returns back to his old, former self.
Yeah.
Rushes on the bomb side, goes in first, finds the impact needed, and basically opens up the round for the team. And Depression, you'd love to save that big sniper rifle, wouldn't you? And the problem is, I feel like the T should go on for the hunt. They got a pretty okay crossfire here. Actually, Depression and Collins. But Monte looks like they will be picking up that 6th round regardless, and even if they save the weapons here, I feel like going for the investment is probably not optimal, especially now that they lose one player. I feel like going for a partial investment would be by far the better choice. I was wondering whether we could see a replay of how that push happened on the upper bomb site, but it was solid work. Good work from Monte. This time around to change up the pace, moving quickly. And that'll be 6 rounds to their name.
You probably realized, it was like, it will probably be another slow start. So it was like, I'm gonna throw like the new Galaxy, the new giveaway system. I was like, I'll plug that real quick, and then I see them just go for a full A side take. And now again, they just won't let us talk. Kindo and Dragon, the second part of the push, do get 2 kills, and turns into a bit of a stalemate here after the first 20 seconds.
But this is good. I mean, we're seeing reactive Counter-Strike out of Partizan. This is to be expected. And it's great they pulled the trigger on it. Go for the fast lobby crunch. Damage being inflicted, but now Haji, again in a prime position. Basically, he has just opened up the side with that single kill. The other 2 players are just way far behind, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Dragon in a prime position with the flank as well. Got his teammate right beside him, but Lean is aware. He's squinting. He knows there's a player in his crosshair any moment now. He's just waiting for a chance to strike. And as he appears, he'll pull mouse 1 and get another big frag for the team. And if you're a Depression, It's definitely a sad round, and I'd recommend to run away into a corner and cry a little bit.
The name would be fitting.
Yeah?
As 7th already on the board. And if you look at, right, just like at the names of the Monte team, it does feel like it's a bit of a thrown together bunch. But if you look back at what all these players sort of have achieved and the kind of mix that they have now, right? Lean and Afro have been within tier 2 pretty successfully for quite a while now. You have Afro trying to breach in a bit higher with the Fnatic team that he was on. Haji, of course, pretty similar scenario. And then young guys, Ryu and Gizmi. Especially Gizmi, pretty underrated, I still think. He did nearly qualify for a major. Gizmi does find Collins on the opener. Finally some resistance from Partizan. And some fun plays here. Kindo, oh, goes for the wrap. Does get caught. 3v2, finally looking like it was going to be successful, but they wait on the bomb site just for now.
Yeah, the pressure, no chance to get back into this round. And yeah, I feel like as well, even though you can look at guys like Afro, Haji, experienced players to their own right, but to be definitely worth keeping an eye on Ryu. That is a player that can definitely perform in this team, and I feel like with them not having like a dedicated superstar player or a player that would find a lot of impact, someone like Vorticke in the past or Demka,
Yeah.
you'd have all eyes on those guys. But now I feel like this is where someone like Ryu is in a prime position to actually find a lot of impact. Afro as well.
Yes.
Surprisingly though, it has been actually Haji who has also found a new level of form in this team, and the guy is 29 and he's still fragging.
I mean, age is slowly becoming less and less of a factor in Counter-Strike, and I find it fun that there was an era where every pro was kind of like retiring at 25 or 24, but that time seems to have gone. But yeah, I mean, where Ryu? I mean, I know Ryu from Genk when he was playing there. He played in the Lowlands Lions as well, of course. So yeah, more close to me, geographically wise. But I mean, it's been fun to see him actually together with Gizmi do so well. Once more fast. This time the wall of Kindo does stand. Is Ryu looking for an opener right as I praise him. Everyone goes down. What these rounds are keep taking 20 seconds. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a single time your sort of bog standard nuke affair where, you'd see the T side fighting for some ramp presence, then backing away, returning to outside, or doing something, vice versa. First outside, then secret, then return back on outside, hit the A-bomb site. I mean, we haven't really seen those readjustments from the T side. These rounds have been incredibly fast. But I also feel like, the way CS2 works, going for the faster plays and not really just simply moving up A, throwing in the smokes, the flashbangs, moving on quickly, that's also viable. That feels like the way a lot of teams tend to play nowadays. And a map like Nuke, it still lends itself to this fast play style, even though usually you equate a map like Nuke with a more tactical depth of, throwing down the outside smokes, fighting for some map presence. But usually, fast plays can also work out, or the fast nades.
Great read there on the tactical nuke. It's gonna be Dragon who can't escape. Oh, and if you can't escape, you need to hit the no-scope. But even that is a no-no. And already 2 men down again. Twice now we've seen Partizan, get around. And both scenarios right afterwards, Monte just slapped them back down. And I mean, this is slowly creeping into a 10-2 scoreline.
Yeah, it seems to be inevitable at this point. Depression has had the AWP for a fair amount of rounds, just really hasn't had, let's say, the same level of success. And as we can see, those 3 rounds for Partizan, they'd love to get them. I mean, to finish the half with at least the 3 rounds. Because I feel like, the 9-3 scoreline is definitely deceiving in Counter-Strike. You think of a 9-3 game and then, you win the pistol, you get 2 rounds, you win the gun round, 2 extra, and suddenly you got a 7-9 scoreline. Just a few gun rounds away from even potentially winning out the map. So it's huge, Every single round counts, and I really hope Partizan can get that third.
Yeah, and I think Monte are hoping for the exact opposite. Because if you're already on double digits, one financial break will bring you map point. Right? One time that you break their economy, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be on 12. You're gonna be fine. And otherwise, the opponents will have that one extra, that one extra life to possibly survive that second half. It's the last round of the half already. We've gone here quite quickly. It actually was a double op setup in the last round, and we saw no op kills from the CTs. That's also a bit rough. Ooh. Did you see the HP on Vladen? Actually got the tag.
Yeah.
Through the hut. And, burning 100 to not. His dragon.
That's bad.
Oof. Yeah.
Even the firefighters at Chernobyl could not have foreseen such devastating fire in secret. Look at this as well. Vladen and company are reaggressing, and they might actually get themselves some really solid timing. They will at least have info that there's no one in lobby, but then again, that information will be deceiving because we see a few players moving up. They'll take heaven control. And yeah, Partizan, they believe this is the B commit, but apparently, they will be so wrong, as right now, Monte will just walk into an empty A bomb site. This will be the easiest bomb plant for them in the last round of the half. And look at this, 10 seconds remaining. They'll just move into the site, secure an easy bomb plant, and Partizan, they're left scratching their heads. How could this have happened?
Forced into the gamble. And they went all on B. Well, gambling doesn't always guarantee success. Well, usually the opposite. As they all walk into the crossfires, it's the easiest pickups from Monte. What it feels like in this half. Afro. I mean, look at the kill divide. Look at this scoreboard. 10, 10, 10, 9, and 7. I mean, everyone's online. Everyone is for Monte.
And it's great to note as well that we got some viewers online as well, because those who have been, actually listening to us yap, they know.
Hey, it's Focus.
Type in always, exclamation mark Galaxy in the chat for their chance to potentially get a skin. And as we'll see as well, our skin raffle bonanza has been generous to some viewers. Others have just been given some okay skins, which they can always, use it for trade up. Give it to a friend as a gift or whatnot, or actually keep it in your inventory. And Patrick, I'll leave it all up to you, man, to decide what will you do with your Emphasaurus M4A1S.
Saw that Krakow go by, that AWP. That looked tasty. Apparently, one guy got gloves when M&J was casting.
Oh, really?
Like a week or two back? Yeah. M&J told me, it was like, oh yeah, like someone got gloves in out of one of the boxes. Which is pretty crazy. IG. Let this around, looking to overtake his teammates in the kill count. Won't happen. Already 3v5. Oh, Jesus. Oh, reinvigorated on the T side.
Oh yeah, there's
and
some. Yeah,
a single kill.
that's the end of that. Wow, that was a very fast round of Counter Strike. I'll give Partisan that. I mean, this entire first map has been pretty damn quick, and yeah, this is exactly what they needed, right? If they want to kickstart a comeback, they absolutely need to win the pistol. And Monte, they could go for just the full on eco, though I was kind of hoping that we might see a force bout at the CT side. But hey, they'll eco this one out, get it out of the way, and then we'll see some real guns coming out. Whereas for Partizan, I mean, this is your bog standard decision, right? You're expecting to go up against an eco. You want to take long range engagements and make sure those pistols don't find any damage if possible. And Partisan, they can slow it down, right? They don't really have to overcommit, but they also have to be very careful and check their corners, which that's exactly why you should do so.
I think they'll be fine. There's this 157 on Ryu, which could pose a bit of a threat. Usually a 5.7, it's kind of like hyenas, right? If you have like a single hyena, it's not that scary. If they come in groups, oof, those 5.7s can bite. So, gotta be a bit careful with that. And it will be only the 5.7.
I was actually even wondering that I've been a 5.7 user in CS2. I kind of realized that I haven't really used the CZ75, to be honest. I know, I feel like I should give it a shot in my inventory. I don't know, Sheep. What are your thoughts on the CZ75?
I have tried in multiple times throughout my playing of Counter-Strike, and every single time I've bought it, my first gunfight is filled with regret and despair. And it's just pain. I am unable to use the CZ to any capacity. I turned that thing into a water gun. I don't know. I hate it. I just can't use it.
Ooh, that is a big early headshot, but a fair amount of intel being gathered on the back of it. Haji instantly goes down the vents. Oh, that's a long range fight that Afro. He's still repeaking.
Again?
He's still winning. Oh, come on. He should have gone down ages ago, but free frags being found. If I'm Collins and Vladin, I'd be scared for my life right now. My virtual life and my virtual knees would be shaking and trembling.
I mean, with the current player models, those knees do shake and tremble indeed. As Haji will... Oh, that looked clean. I mean, that is a player that's feeling comfortable, right? Having those lineups, because sometimes you see when opponents are that close together, you just go for the spray. But no, Haji goes super clean. And I have a feeling that the hopes and dreams of Partizan are quickly shut down. 11-4 for Nuke.
A gun round, once again, they must win. Fail here, and economy is in the bin. Surprisingly, though, it's Gizmi of all players, the first point of contact, and red container. Again, this is a precarious position, to say the least. Afro counts as backup, though I'd love to see Afro, take some of those gunfights himself, but alright, Gizmi picks up one. They're already in a man advantage, and from here on out, all you gotta do is just rely on your anchors. Ryu has been a solid player in T-side. That's a player that, for the most part, you can rely on. And Partizan just, I guess they're banking on Vlad and just finding some sort of opening. Apart from that, in squeaky, in ramp. I mean, they just don't have any options to play with.
rotate's gonna be so close as well. The bomb is still dropped behind in the door. They're waiting for the opener. Slightly given up, but then instantly one more back. And Monte don't even aggress on it. Shadow spotted. Gizmy still standing here. Oh, what a fight to take. Oh, it's actually a team kill. Okay. Well, doesn't matter that much for the round. Still fun. Low HP though. What a swing. Afro carrying the most with 73. Haji has to keep 2 takes. Well, garbage disposal. Afro dumps his opponent into the vent. And it's gonna be 12-4. Wonderful play. I mean, technical, like, strategic-wise, pretty much perfect for Monte there. In terms of when they timed their pushes, what they did as a reaction to them. Yeah, that was pretty spot on.
Yeah, I love the fact as well they used a lot of their utility in the mid round to try and delay any ramp plays or even outside pushes. Lots of good work, but this is obviously the scary part for Partizan. The 12-4 scoreline, they have barely any money to work with, but they must invest. And the investment, I mean, it's simply not that good. Afro, lean, good damage being found, kills being found. And this is awkward. I mean, they were supposed to go down the lower side. They used all their smokes, except for that one in the hands of Depression. And are they just now banking on the fact that Monte might play aggressive? I mean, they might. But at this point, if you're Gizmo, you say, guys, of all the rounds to play aggressive, this is not one of them. We have the advantage. We might as well just play our default positions and wait for the opponents to come to us.
Yeah, exactly. These Tech 9s, only if you give up a kill or 2 will they become dangerous. Just stay alive and fall back. Take what you can, grab what you can take with you. First point of contact. Very clean taps. This Haji Afro combo, awesome on Nuke. It's going to be a 13-4. Easy rounds for Monte on their map pick. Partizan, not really involved in this match, were they?
No, but I'll also say that Monte, they stepped up. I mean, when I was saying as well in the pregame that this roster has been a bit underwhelming for me, it's because that usually you don't get to see all the players have a good sort of game. I mean, if you were to have a game where at least Afro, Ryu, and Haji are able to step up, I mean, already you feel like, okay, that's going to be enough for them to make a game competitive or even get it across the finish line. If we have all the players coming on live at the server, then it's going to be relatively easy for them. A 13-4 win. I did not expect it to be that convincing, if I'm being honest, but it also doesn't help that Partizan are currently playing with a stand-in, and they're playing it with him on a more tactical map in the form of Nuke, so that is a bit difficult. And despite them, having the CT start, they just really didn't have any convincing victories, if I'm being honest. It always felt like Monte, sure, they might have lost a gun round here or there, but you knew they'll have what it takes to get back into it, to find the opening frags. And I feel like their explosive playstyle as well worked so well on this map. It felt like Partizan, for the most part, didn't have a counter.
And what I also did like is they weren't afraid to change it up, right? We see Monte, of course, there were a couple of very fast plays over towards the top bomb site. At one point, that didn't work for one round. Instantly looking to get that opening kill into Kindo and then throw the whole plan around. Go for ramp, go for outside, play it different, rotate into heaven. They won a round, a 3v3 just off of rotating. Or like a 4v3. Like just off of rotating. They just waited, walked into an empty A bomb site, didn't even have to shoot a single bullet. And yeah, that's big props.
Yeah, they really performed well on the first map, but where I might have some doubts is in fact on the second one, which will be coming right up here, folks. But before that, we'll go to a very quick break, and once we'll be back, we'll be sure to bring you the second map of the best of 3. Stay tuned. Hello there, folks, and welcome back. Now, you might have missed the first map. If that's the case, I can't really blame you. That was a pretty one-sided victory for Monte. Really impressive stuff. 13-4, all players fragging, everyone's having a game of their life. However, as we move on to the second map, Sheep, this is where I have some doubts because I have seen Monte play on this map, albeit this was basically a month ago, just at the start of when they had Afro and Haji join the team. And in my eyes, they played some really, how should I call it? You know, Dust 2 is a basic map, right? But they've played like this old school playstyle in Dust 2, reminiscent of, I don't know, even 2017, something like that, where I felt like a lot of teams, if they just played their default positions, that was enough to actually win against Monte. So I really hope they've actually managed to change it up on Dust 2, because obviously Dust 2 has had some, new additions, and a lot of teams end up using them to their advantage. But I feel like Monte seems to be, how should I put it, somewhat stale on this map.
Which I find weird, because like if you look at the other maps, like for example, if you looked at the nuke, I mean most of the rounds were pretty basic, but a lot of them were also like still, if you look at the rotates, if you look at them trying to sort of like abuse the rotates of Partizan, it was all very efficient. So I'm looking for some higher level strats indeed out of Monte. And it'll be great crunch here. Oh, hefty fight in the tunnel. 3 kills going the way of Partizan.
I mean, this is okay. That's a cool changeup. I mean, I'll give them that. Taking lower tunnels control. This is the MO for a lot of teams nowadays. And the problem is, though, despite having the players to work with, that still wasn't enough. And now they have full control of B side. Dragon in a very far back position. I have seen, some players, someone like even like Valda, for example, even playing all the way back at almost T-spawn at the barrel's position to try and spot out an opponent. That I feel like is a bit too risky. I feel like being at the entrance of the B tunnels is more than enough. But yeah, this round is going to come to an abrupt end. Afro can at least keep on playing with the dualies, which in its own right, that's pretty sweet. That should be enough damage.
Yeah, not to get the kill. I mean, it's like I like the strategy in general, but it's like they're very aware of the disadvantage you have with that, right? You're gonna go against Glocks in the tunnel, which usually isn't like the most favorable of fights to take. Sometimes we see it work, but those USPs, I don't know, they just feel like they're doing half the damage sometimes, having them close range. 2 scouts, actually, very Dust 2-y force buy. And they're gonna get what they want. Long play. Uh-oh, this could get very scary for Partizan.
Leave it a huge headshot from the get-go and an AK-47 retrieved. I kind of like the fact as well that, Monte, they don't have much to lose in this round, so you might as well maximize your options by having as many players as you can up close. And this is where Partizan, them slowing down, I don't feel like that's the right choice. Or maybe it is. Ryu, oh, gets caught out. He did not expect someone up short so quickly. And this is where you'd love to see Lean step up with the AK. He gets the one. Oh, not the second. That simply won't be good enough.
HP still low, though. That, scout turning into an op versus 2 players that are still there. Well, no, 2 scouts. But with the bomb down going on the B bomb side, I don't really see... I mean, I wouldn't be against them just saving these scouts. Right, if you get 3 tags in the upcoming round with 2 scouts, you're gonna be golden. Or with an MP9.
Maybe there's a chance. But Afro goes down, and so no AK-47 will be retrieved. Not the end of the world, of course, but man, I felt like Monte still had a chance in this round, especially with the setup we saw in long. Lean picking up a headshot gives me as well. But I feel like, yeah, Partizan played that one pretty well. They avoid any more confrontations and long. And it's great to see they managed to eliminate those few players in short and then just book it towards the B-bomb. Say that was completely abdicated by anyone from Monte. So this one's going to have to be even simpler. Just a full-on eco, except for Haji keeping on that MP9 of his. I would assume they'd probably just go stack one bomb. So, Haji can chuck in a smoke at double doors, and they might just consider stacking somewhere. Or apparently, yeah, they're just going to play it as if default setup. Dragon versus Lean with the Deeg. Looks like it was actually Dragon that got softened up early on. But Partizan taking it slow, as to be expected.
Yeah, I don't want to rush into anything. I'm never really a fan of rounds like this and to just play your default positions, but it's probably mostly just to gain some information. Are there certain lurks that Partizan will drop in? Sometimes you see a late solo play out of long from some teams on the T side, so probably just gathering information. I don't think Monte are gonna rely on this round with their whole shebang. Maybe some Deagle kills, who knows?
Third time's the charm to once again hit the B-bomb site. Just a few defenders remaining. Luckily, one of them is Haji with the MP9. This will come in handy, I'm sure. And now, he'll move in.
Only
and
one.
Just the one frag. And so Gizmi is the last man standing. But for Partizan, the most important bit is that not only do they win the pistol, the second round of force buy, but now the third round also goes their way. And this is already looking like a much better map than what we saw initially on Nuke.
I apologize for being gone. There was a fly in my room that I was getting very annoyed about. So I had to get it. I did get it, by the way, so no more leaving for me. Maybe Lean has a fly in his room that turned off his PC.
Oh.
Maybe that.
Got on the power button.
What was the sort of shaman quote? It was, if a man learns true patience if a mosquito lands on his private parts. Something like that. Maybe gotta be careful with flies around your setup. I think a friend of mine actually broke his keyboard because a fly was on there. He tried to smack the fly and he destroyed 3 keys.
I mean,
you have to get a new
the difference between a fly and a mosquito in your private parts, I think it's an obvious one. One does the sucking,
Exactly. It's... Yeah. Maybe we should get the game back going, just to keep the topic more Counter-Strike related. As this is a good
Yeah.
moment to tell some of the new viewers. Previously we had the exclamation mark Galaxy. Now it is by the channel points to enter yourself into the halftime giveaway. So look at the top right of your screen throughout the map, or just at the chat, and you can redeem some of your points. Actually, the prediction is pretty heavily favored over towards Partizan with the channel points.
Yeah.
Did you see the face Afro pulled?
Yeah, he's not happy about that one. And I'm with the crowd on this one. I still feel like, you know, Monte, despite them having a tremendous first map, that the second one is, I still feel like it should be a difficult one for them. Dust 2, again, I've seen them play on this map. Sure, it was a month ago, but it was not a convincing map. The way they played it felt to me a bit outdated. And I'll also add, I'm not sure if either of these individuals would really, you know, would call Dust 2 their favorite map. I don't feel like I've seen a single multiplayer pop off in Dust 2. And you think about this as well. I mean, Dust 2, this is the quintessential map for individuals to pop off. Not for Monte, though. But Lean, that's a great start. The AWP kicks in. And that's also the bomb being dropped, so that is mega awkward. The first player to push was the bomb carrier.
And, oh, he's just gonna beam one straight through the smoke onto Collins. That bomb retrieval still not going quick, and Gizmy gets the kill through the edge of that smoke. 2 versus 4. Does look like in the first full gun round, we're gonna see Monte enter the scoreboard. But there might still be a chance here. Especially if this play is going to head through middle. See something happen. I say there's a chance. I now look at the time, and it's 3 seconds left.
Yeah. No chance at this point. And I feel like one of the biggest mistakes was, in fact, that the first player, in fact, to walk out of Longhouse was, in fact, a bomb carrier. I have no idea why did that occur, but yeah, a bit dissatisfying in my book. But it's great to see that Monte at least get one on the board. I feel like for them, they need to get as many rounds on the CT side. I have more hope for them to play on T side, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see. Right now, Partizan have pretty good spawn, actually, to move up long. It usually does too. Is spawn-based Counter-Strike. And right now, that is a great opportunity for Vladen to move out. He's still worrying about the pit, though. Oh, but look at this. This is some great reactivity coming out from Haji. A solid position. He's moving up close suicide, but look as well, Gizmy. Finding a huge frag, a second there to boot. He's already done a lot of good work, but he won't stop anytime soon because he's on it. The Molly will not deter him, but it has put his team in a very winnable position.
I think Partizan at this point realized the fight's been taking so long and the information's been gained by the shots fired, by the util thrown, that the last 2 players are also here. IG has him locked in. We're going to see the totem pole set up. The triple totem pole set up here on short. I don't think a single flashbang is going to work here. You kind of should throw a flash here. This positioning from Monte's not too great. I just starts to get active now. That's going to save them a round, most likely.
There we go. Haji with the 1. He did not spot out the second player, though, which is a bit awkward. And Collins, I mean, he's got the bomb on his shoulders. That's a great chance for him to just hop on over B side. But Ria's got the angle. Oh, no, he goes down, and that is pretty bad. Collins now puts himself in a very winnable 1v1. Now, Haji is making his way through middle. Collins has not seen him yet. There is still a chance for Haji. He does not have the kit to work with, but this time around, it should not cause that much of a ruckus. Oh, timing is everything, Collins. I feel like it's got it. Oh, he's got it for sure. Collins with the 1v3 and Monte with a round they were not supposed to lose. I mean, look at this. He puts his team in a 5v2. Like a 5v2. That is a round you're supposed to win if you are Monte. You got intel. You know where they're at. And this, I mean, this was also a bit sloppy. It's great to see Haji able to make the play, but yeah, once you get to see one player making his way CT spawn, perhaps they should have just coordinated it a little bit better. And now, yeah, money is a big issue for Monte.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'll bring up the point as well. The fact that when things are going tough, what do? Like double up setup. I mean, this to me speaks volumes that, I mean, they don't really know how to approach this T-side aggression, and they go for the good old-fashioned, let's double up setup and rely on our individuals.
Yeah, the fact, I call out the totem pole setup, which is pretty much just standing on different angles, like on the same angle but at different heights. And as soon as the op peaks, like they're just like jiggling 2 meters apart from each other, which means all of the kills can just go in one by one. It's such a odd decision by Monte to just not hold the same line as their teammates. I'm baffled by that. That's such a mistake. Well, I'll try and fix it now. Man up. Again, re-established.
At least one of the ops able to find impact lean. Wow, they're both at the same position now. This is
so
mental.
Weird.
I mean, if the T's were to decide to push short, I feel like both of them should be going down Haji. I mean, he heard the footstep. Oh no! He hears him, but he doesn't kill him. And now Partizan again having an opportunity to push on the B side. And that, yeah, they're lacking intel. And that one smoke, I feel like that's it. Yeah, the one smoke is going to be enough. Because they had two players in short, both oppers. They have no idea what's happening on A side. They believe this to be the commit. Great shot from Afro. And now with 20 seconds, if you're Partizan, you're going to book it towards the B side. You still have a great chance to take control of this side of the map. And I still feel like a retake on B side, that is such a difficult task. I mean, you got two ops to work with and no kit.
One of the ops doesn't even have armor. There's no helmets, there's no nothing. Collins, if he steps out too wide at some point here, yes, I consider this round to be on. Oh, that nade is far from ideal. Lean does spot him. They are gonna go for this. They're gonna send in Ryu first. The rifle in first, but he gets shut down quick. And now he's just saving the two ops. I mean, we did see the complete oddity that was the Monte T-side pistol round on Nuke. Right? First round of this best of 3, which was completely bonkers as well. And now we see a double op short setup in the mid round? I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, why not rotate one of them just towards the B-bomb side? Tell one of the guys, alright, go window with the op. Or sit on the bomb side. It's late in the round, 20 seconds left. They're not gonna have 3 nades and 2 mollies left to like flush you out completely. Such a weird decision.
Well, fast play incoming. Nades coming through. The one saving grace, they at least get to keep both snipers alive and ready.
Yeah.
And I like this double aggression as well. You have the long players pushing up, and you also have the B player, who's Afro and the sniper, also take points. So early on, that's a lot of good information for Monte. This will come in handy sooner rather than later. But interestingly enough, they're going to re-aggress in middle. The problem is, though, Lean, that's it. He's going to go... Wow, he's alive on a slimmer of HP.
Partizan just looking to kind of brute force this one, aren't they? Just all 5 players here in long. It's gonna be a full 5v5. Lean still cart. No nades left, only a single Molotov, so he's not really gonna die by util damage. Right, this is gonna be a bit of a brawl. I think the rotate now coming in from Vladan is gonna win Partizan the round, or at least it should. Those are a couple of great kills. Lovely recovery from Haji on that spray to put the damage onto Depression. He's gonna be falling back. It's a ridiculously quick shot onto Ryu. They want to get this AWP out of his hands. It's now Gizmy with the AWP. Just give everyone an AWP on the CT side.
Well, looks like for them to win a round, that's all they needed. Just to have a 5-man stack on A side. And they finally had what it takes to get a round across the finish line. So lovely stuff.
Just
Monte,
the 5-man stack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just the 5-man stack. And I mean, despite Partizan winning a fair amount of rounds, 5 rounds in total in a row, economically they're kind of screwed. And you can see Depression. He still has the sniper rifle to work with, but the rest of the guys, I mean, it's pistols for days. And Rio is playing this one far back. I'm not sure if it's the correct choice to make because he's giving a lot of breathing room for the T side, and this is exactly what they needed. They had a very lackluster investment, and they wanted to get these bodies on the side as early as possible, and they've done exactly that.
Every single second this bomb does not go down does get it closer to a retake happening. But at some point, you're gonna have to make a move. How? How is the first move not with a flashbang? These are rookie mistakes out of Monte. I'm now seeing what you were kind of talking about with saying, like, the game of Monte that you saw a month ago. That is... I mean, it's not the first time they are ignoring, like, basic fundamentals of Dust 2, to be fair. But... I get yelled at in Face It level 8 if I do, like, an ungrouped up, like an uncoordinated B-bomb site play, like a B-bomb site retake. If I don't throw a flash for my teammate, or if my teammate doesn't throw it for me, or I don't wait, whatever, I get yelled at by at least 3 of my teammates, and I'm playing Face It level 8. Like, I'm struggling here to believe Haji going for that peak.
For me, it's also quite surprising that, Monte, they managed to win the previous round and they had, like, util on all their players. And despite that, Ryu's still playing, outside the double doors. If anything, yeah. I feel like in a round like that, if you're expecting some sort of fast play, you probably want to get, in a position where you're not going to get smoked off or anything like that, where you can still check in the mollies. But that side, they lost it way too quickly, and that was definitely a mistake on Monte's part, but it's a new day, and it's, again, the AWP coming out for Afro. Another nade being deployed, hoping to spot out something. Obviously, the way the smokes work in CS2 feels like taking mid control for the T side has become a challenge, unlike in any prior iteration of Counter-Strike. Watch coming through. Haji waiting for his chance to strike. He's got Afro just firing off shots, and perhaps he'll just bank that maybe someone at the T side does not expect a player up close double doors. What was that?
Looking to retrieve the AWP that was dropped. Dragon does now get it. They wanted to be able to challenge Afro, but at this rate, well, he has rotated away to the B bomb site. Haji will now hold one more, and as much as I criticized Monte in the last round, I do think this was a very nice adjustment. They play Ryu a lot closer, they have the util support for him on B, and then they load up with Afro and Haji both close middle. So if there was somewhat of an attempt to go quick B again, what they'll do then is just, fall back a bit, hold the util there, make sure Partizan go towards middle. So their plan of Monte was for Partizan to end up in that middle door position anyhow, and that's worked out quite well. So, I mean, it's the consistency in the calling that I'm now seeking, but yes, Monte do actually present some decent ideas here. Analysis made by several sheep. Just sign that off there.
That's why you get the big bucks, man.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah. I mean, it's everything in tier 2 and like higher and lower tier 2. It's always about consistency. Every single thing is consistency. If you're consistent, you get to tier 1. That's it.
Ooh, lean. Good work being found, but yeah, that triple Tech 9 push, there's really nothing he can really do in his position. But Afro hit some crazy shots in the middle, has changed up his position. Now he's the A-side defender, and this is where things are starting to look pretty rough. Laden, does go down eventually. I thought he had an amazing opening in the round, and that is a fast rotate from Monte. Really well played, instantly reacting to the push of Partizan. And speaking of which, though, Ryu has been somewhat silent throughout this entire second map, but he finally found his first kill, so more power to him.
Yeah, good stuff. And Afro just plucks one out of the air. Vladen already dropped just on the Glocks now, and yeah, indeed. I mean, the setup, it was kind of wonky, as Afro nearly did go down on the bomb side, but it would have been a trade, not necessarily a prevention of the kills, as we see Gizmy, Look at him staring at his mouse after hitting that spray. Oh, brilliant. Oh, yeah, we're not getting the camera replay of that.
It gives me, he does have some shanky aim, but I mean, he's hitting his shots and he's still shooting. That's great. That's all that it matters. But obviously, this last round as well, I mean, it goes to show that Monte, they more or less just rely on their individuals making plays, not really even having any sort of backup. You know, Afro's just waiting for some engagements to take place, and there we go. He even decides to look up what's happening in lower tunnels, despite him having a teammate in the form of Haji there. So I feel like things aren't really as coordinated as they may seem. It just feels like Monte relying on their individuals to make the plays. Right now it's Haji with perhaps some backup, or nope, no backup indeed. It's Afro to get another. Anyhow, Gizmy has pushed up Longhouse.
Yeah, I'm quite happy Monte have been able to recover, mostly strategy-wise. Their aim, a pretty solid one. Sorry, Afro, that I just jinxed you there. Yep, there you go, mate. And Gizmy staring at his mouse again. Doesn't realize what's wrong. It's not the mouse, man. Don't worry. I have the same one. I'm even worse. So yeah, 6-6 scoreline at the half. Yeah, pretty decent shutdown there those last couple of rounds.
Listen, I'll give you. Yeah, but before the giveaway, I'll say this. I got a cool saying. We got a saying back home that even for a bad dancer, his balls are problematic. Make of that if you will, but it basically goes to show that, you know, if you're a good dancer or a good aimer, you don't really need good tools to get the job done. No, and despite Gizmy's troublesome mouse, I mean, he's still on top of the scoreboard, man. Like, he's got 11 frags.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks really funny. Just every single time you see him getting a kill on camera, he just stares down at his mouse and it's like, huh? What's going on?
Well, 6-6 is the current scoreline. All in all, I feel like it's a good way to end the half for Monte. probably not so much for Partizan. After all, they had a 5-1 lead. And now, even Stevens. No fast play outside long. We do have a lonesome Kindo holding on to this position. No backup to speak of. In fact, Partizan seems to be holding towards the B bomb site, believing this might be the B play. No intel in long apart from the one flash. So Kindo, they'll back away from this one. His teammates, right about now, yeah, they'll make the rotate.
Oh.
That smoke is not good. That's a terrible smoke. There's a huge gap. Somehow, despite there being a big-ass gap, they have a chance to get that bomb plant.
On the rotate back, call it, or I think it was Kindo, completely on accident, had hit the smoke that came flying in. Well, if you have a smoke that's that easy to negate, might want to look into that, Monte. But now the Glocks need to hold on to these crossfires. The pressure with 2 lovely kills, and Ryu struggles to find much more. 36 HP on long. This is not going to prevent the bomb defuse. Oh, I'm actually seeing the result of the giveaway just now, because I minimized my screen on accident. It's actually a Glock Vogue. That's pretty nice.
Force buy it is. After getting the bomb plant, going for the force buy is not that bad, I'd say. You know, on a map like this too, it could definitely work. Pistols. Okay. No need for pistols if you've got a scout like that. Afro has been hitting insane shots. Ryu, he's got the tag, but we're seeing an exchange of damage and bullets. Depression, that is such a ballsy play. And Gizmi is by his lonesome. He's got the bomb. Like, they're gonna push him. What are the rest of the guys doing? I have no idea.
That felt like it wasn't really thought out that well. Don't think they were really counting on that bomb being spotted. And then you got 2 late rotates coming in, so understand the plan, but change weapons one more time, Afro. Just you need to Mac 10 for it. Not a nice tag though. He does switch back.
Oh, the double car position. Yeah, that is almost impossible to go up against. Afro, close, but won't be good enough, and that is how Partizan claim 8. But yeah, that was bad, man. I really don't know what else to say. It probably, to me, signals that Gizmi probably had no idea he had the bomb on his back. Otherwise, why else would he be playing so aggressive? Plus, they had their players who tried to go on alert, but I mean, what's the point of trying to go for alert when, I mean, the CTs, they know there's just the one guy on B side and they've already done good damage on him, so might as well go for the push. And now it has come back to bite Monte, as this time around it will be just the simple eco. Deagles, okay, can still be dangerous, as showcased by Lean, and the MP9 might get overwhelmed. Dragon moves in. Luckily, the MP9 comes out on top.
Yeah, if that shot hits, you know, there's maybe something to say for a round, but map control now slowly tightening around Monte. And these Eagles won't find much more. 9-6 lead for Partizan. Gonna be coming up. I mean, this T site, you can get it rolling. Money from Partizan is not too ridiculous thus far. Monte aren't out of anything just yet.
No, I mean, there's still the world of possibility for Monte to get back into this one, especially with a gun round victory. But again, I'll say this, you know, to me, it feels like Monte's making a fair amount of mistakes on this map. It also signals that neither of the players seem to be oddly comfortable on it. And I'm not sure if this is a reoccurrence, but it feels like this map is also a bit problematic for Ryu, and he is one of your, I wouldn't say star players, but definitely one of your players that can find good impact. And the fact that he's struggling on this map is, I mean, it's not a good sign for the future. Oh, Haji. If there's something you can always count on Haji, AK op, you give it to him, and he'll find that opener, that must opener. And this already, I feel like if it's 1 minute 30 in the clock, if you're Monte, you got to be super explosive in the round because they have lost. They have given up all the map control they could have had. And for Partizan, that is so much intel.
Yeah, they know it's going to be the 4v5 right here at the long. Afro now with another. That op in 2 pairs of hands, still fragging. The boost feels kind of unnecessary, but still the frags coming through. Vladan and Kindo find something here, but Haji, great awareness. See how much he's feeling the game. His whole body, he uses it to shoot. And they clean it up easy. I love the facial reactions from Afro. Just so minimal. Minimal happiness, minimal sadness, but I saw a cheeky smile come in there. Monte are back in the game.
Yeah, you'll love to see it. I feel like that is a crucial victory for them to take, but we'll see how successful they're gonna be because they're up against another investment. And as we can see in a round like this, I should probably slow it down just a little bit, see how it goes. But oh, Afro again trying to take first point of contact, waiting for a chance to strike. He's got a good angle on this one. It'll be interesting to see whether impact can be found. They might just try to inch their way forward on the B side, see how it goes, whether they can find any success. But now, yeah, okay, they'll just back away from this one. Fair enough.
Ooh, this might offer up some opportunities. They don't really got anything to bait them into the fight. It's gonna be 4 CTs, quite close range. Flash hits nobody. They're quickly trying to dismantle the setup on his short lean. He's hunting.
Oh, man, he did not expect that double setup. He was hoping that, okay, maybe there's just one guy in short, and he'll find the necessary impact. But then again, that is intel. Valuable intel for Haji and Gizmi now to just walk up long. Chances are they will not be contested, and Afro gets another huge frag for the squad, and they're just going to keep on taking that A-side control, and that bomb plant is looking good as ever.
Nothing really to do here for Partizan as they completely load up a middle, probably expecting the mid to B play. Something like that, but no, they just rotate back over through long. And very little to do. The weapons will be saved. That's at least good news for the Partizan boys. Still have that op out.
Keep it on to the big green as well as the M4E1S. That's a must condition for Partizan, especially how things have been, pretty bad for their economy. But yeah, it's good to see, Monte already picking up a second round win. This one should be a relatively easy challenge, but again, depression on the sniper rifle, he can cause a fair amount of havoc. And as we will see, depression looking for the first point of contact in short. Waiting for a chance to strike. Afro gets the engagement though, out of the equation, but it can be retrieved. And as we can see, it has.
Again, opening kill though for Monte, and I have a feeling there's going to be more where that came from. 2 players on short still. I don't know how aware they're going to be of this. Ryu's thinking about throwing that Molotov, maybe that nade up. And they're gonna check it dry. Monte are still fine with having this a 4v4. Yeah. You never. Oh, but the shot
but he
gets
misses
missed.
the shot. No problem though. Molly deployed, and now again Haji has been waiting outside long just for this opportunity to make his way onto the side. And once again, there's a lot of emphasis on the short hold, at which Haji will exploit. However, Dragon picks up a pretty big frag, and now, both of them appear in the crosshairs of Haji, and that Molly should just basically win them the round. All he's got to do is just wait for Afro to get in position. He's going to take his sweet time, but that bomb plant will come through, and this could be dangerous right now. Can't expect both players in long at the same time. Probably not yet. This could be a nasty surprise for Afro. It sure is. And now it's all up to Haji. And he's got no idea how close those players are. He's expecting there's got to be a second player short. But Haji sees one of them, but not the second. And a great victory for Partizan. They steal it away with just the M4 and the AWP.
What a brilliantly annoying decision from Partizan to just rush the two players straight into long. It's become more and more popular to retake the A-bomb site from long, and just so quick, and with both players unable to do much, and that is an AWP and an M4. That's gonna be enough to carry Partizan to the double digits. Beautifully done there, and I mean that double push through long is just such a great decision. Love it.
I mean, and again, the quarrel I have is the way Monte's playing this T side. It feels like everyone is just doing, their own individual thing. We don't really get to see, a teammate being flashed out as he goes for the short push.
Again.
They're just playing it on a basically individual basis here as well. Afro, he goes in, gets the gunfight. That's a great opening frag, but again, it's not like because he was flashed in, found that good timing. No, he just does it on an individual basis. But now, as the troops rally up for a commitment on B side, this is where Dragon has to hold the line. Rotations will be very swift, however. They're yet to make their way out of tunnels, and this could be problematic. Gizmi holds the line. Afro goes down in middle, but now they know the positioning of both CTs. So, if you're Monte, you'll get that bomb planted, but if you're Gizmi, you gotta be super aware of the tunnel push. He sees the player, nails him, and now it is just Collins being left in the 1v2. Got the kit by his side. Ryu, can he step up? He sure can.
That information's so important. And Partizan, they try to rotate in, try to be on time, but it's just a bit too overwhelming to deal with that B-bomb site. And Ryu must feel good to bring in some more impact in a crucial round. 5 kills in total. He's still 1 up on Kindo. It's not that lopsided, but some breathing room for Monte, as it's just gonna be a P250 and a Deagle. Monte should be good for now, with actually a lot of opportunity to get themselves some great momentum here for the final parts of Dust 2.
I'll say this, feels like some of the more successful rounds for Monte have been where they send 4, 5 players together, and if they're going together, they're pushing together, that's when, taking control of the A side is not that big of a deal. And obviously, you can't really make the same plays every single round, especially in a map like Dust 2, where it feels like a lot of control you can make on the map does rely heavily on the spawns. But this is, again, this should have been an easy win for them, and they lost 3 players. As eco rounds are concerned, Partizan is loving it.
Yeah, I don't know how much that is going to influence the rest of the game. I see it have either 0 influence or all of the influence. But yeah, no weapons saved. The money still, it's not great for the T side actually. Of course, it's not great for the CT side either. But Afro hits it again. Again, an opening frag and a gun round.
In middle, nonetheless. Like, Afro has been, that has been his domain. He has been contested time and time in middle, and it goes to show Dragon or Depression, just don't do it, man. Like, Afro has just won basically every single engagement he has had in middle. And he is a player to be reckoned with. And once again, he finds the opening frag for Monte. Now it's up to the rest of the players to not mess it up.
It's like the first time a mid to B is going to be attempted. Yeah. Maybe. It feels like the first time mid to B is going to be implemented. And it's a great round to do it in. It gives me lining up for that smoke that's going to bounce in. It's 3 players on the side of A. It's going to be a completely isolated AWP. Depression is going to need probably one of the best rounds of his career to even try and hold off Monte. Can he do it? Up is scoped in. Ryu first to face. Takes him down. More to come, but the flashes are too powerful. That's going to be round done. Save called. Kindo scratching his head. I would too.
Yeah, this is one of those rounds where you see the mid to B potentially happening, and you're wondering, man, if Lean takes just control of the window position or is able to pressure the players outside B, you know the T's have that round of lockdown, but it's still so scary to see, 3, 4 players popping out of tunnels, and you kind of feel like, despite them having the bodies, the players, it's so scary to make your way out of tunnels because, mollies might come in, flashbangs, and suddenly 2 players from B side pop out and you're dead. But, luckily for Monte in this round, all he had to face was just lonesome Depression. And now they're going for the hunt, but the CTs, they absolutely want to maintain their guns, and luckily they do. And as we'll take a look at the replay again, just, man, look how crisp Afro is with that AWP. Like, it's insane how successful he is.
Yeah, he's good. It's pretty damn sharp, and I just simply have a feeling it's gonna be another opening frag here. Look at him giggling, seeing they got away this time. That won't happen a second time. Again, this short setup into lower tunnels. Hygiene, a one-on-one fight on long. In the meantime, Gizmi will destroy the sort of stable part of this whole setup. Push goes in. Oh, timing couldn't be better. Ryu still looking for it. That's fair. 1-for-1 trade. I wouldn't be too opposed to getting that. And a re-aggression into long. This needs to be perfect peak. There's no flashbangs. Absolutely 0 for the side of the CT. So they're going to run into a crunch. Afro's peeking with the bomb. Realizes that now, I imagine. Like, oh, wait. We don't need to take down Dragon. We can just run over towards B. And Monte will give themselves an opportunity at 2 map points.
Oh,
2 game points.
Some speeds. Yeah, it looks like it's happening once again. Partizan has been on a bit of a lose streak recently, and probably the most dissatisfying thing about the lose streak is that it's not like they're getting absolutely, wrecked in these best of threes. Like, wait, let's see how many games they've actually lost in terms of best of threes. It's like 7 best of threes, and all of them have been 0-2. So basically, they've lost 14 maps of Counter-Strike in a row, and it doesn't help that in the games they've been losing, they still managed to get like 11, 10, 8 rounds. Some of those maps have been pretty damn close, overtime losses. And again, here on Dust 2, it feels like it could just happen once again. As Monte's now on 12 rounds, and if Afro gets that kill, ooh, that'd be a bit
Oh,
dissatisfying. Oh, it sure is, because now that's the question of whether Partizan can even have enough money for an AWP. Okay, looks like they'll just pop it out, but the
yeah,
pressure will have
glass
to be
cannon.
on no armor. Yeah.
Oof. Is this even going to be enough for Partizan? Well, they need to do it twice. So you can't even win this round with losing all of the players. Because if you lose all the players and you still win this round, or all but one, that's still gonna completely destroy your economy. You're gonna have nothing left.
Yeah, that's the double pressure, right? I mean, Partizan, they not only have to win this round, but they got to do it in a convincing manner so that they would have just enough money for another purchase. Haji has been finding loads of impact. In fact, I mean, French players on Dust 2 finding impact. Yeah, nothing new on that front. And it's great to see that Afro, that the AWP finding a fair amount of success, though this time he's not been challenged really. Gizmi has gone out. Didn't see a single player in mid. That one smoke grenade shouldn't cause any rotates, especially now with Partizan having long control. Sure, don't have a player in short, but that's not big of a deal. They have Dragon on A site, Depression with the AWP, and just with 30 seconds
20,
remaining,
yeah.
I feel like Monte they just got to commit on A side at this point. There's not a lot of room to work with. Oh, that smoke.
They are leaving this very late. It's gonna be a bit desperate going in this late, but the smoke's good. They are able to cross. And the aim punch, depression, it's a bit too much to correctly hit an op shot. He keeps missing. Oh, that shot would have decided the round had he dropped the bomb. 4 versus 4, and all of a sudden 2 players on long. 2 already close CT. Oh, that's the opera down. Ryu with a 2K. Hasn't done much entire game. The pistol's out. It's 2 from Afro as he gets himself ready, and there's just stone cold on his camera. Monte with a sexy 4v4. Give us 13 and eliminate Partizan out of this tournament.
Yeah, it kind of sucks as well that right now Partizan seems to be kind of topsy-turvy roster, not having a full 5-man lineup after Emmy has departed from the roster. So it's a bit dissatisfying that they end up going out here 0-3 and they still have that awful match losing streak as well as map streak at this point. Haven't really done a lot of good work in World Counter-Strike, and looks like I mean, with the season almost coming to an abrupt end, not sure if we'll have any more events for them to bounce back. But on the other hand, if they will get a permanent 5th player, then perhaps they could actually, do some soul searching and finally figure out how they want to approach things. But on another note, we obviously have Monte winning this second map, and also for Monte, Dust 2 to me showcased that this team still has some weaknesses, right? Despite them winning this 13-10, it felt like, again, on a map like this too, they're relying heavily on their individuals to find opening frags, which in some cases, that's not the worst part. I feel like the worst part of it is just that they're relying so much on their individuals that it feels like almost it's like a pug, the way they're playing, just, individuals looking for picks and frags, not asking for any flashbangs, just like, I'll just peek out here, get a frag, I'll do this. You don't really get to see a lot of team cohesion, teamwork, and that is definitely gonna come back to bite them if they face off any stiffer opponents, or not even stiffer opponents in the sense that they might be able to, perform better. Their individuals might perform better, but also in the sense that someone who might consider to be a bit more proactive on the CT side of this too, where they might, push the tunnels more often, get the flanks on those players. And I feel like this too remains a pretty weak map for Monte by all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I mean, you got it all spot on. There's very little to add. I think this Monte team, yes, it does have a lot of potential, but they need to be really hard on themselves, saying like, yes,
Yeah.
like, to improve, we need to be highly critical of ourselves because they're just getting by now, and that
Mm,
I feel like is not gonna be enough for the organization.
yeah.
But at least they're alive now for this Galaxy Battle phase.
Yeah, they'll still have more games to play. And in fact, we'll have a lot more games of Counter-Strike coming up on Galaxy Battle. We're starting to, separate the wheat from the shaft. We're about to see which teams will make it to the playoffs. So a lot more exciting Counter-Strike coming right up on Galaxy Battle. But for now, that's going to be the end from us. So hope you enjoyed the broadcast. My name has been Sir Dan. I've been joined here by Sheep. And we wish you all a good evening. And be sure to watch some more Counter Strike. I heard there's a certain simple playing CS, so definitely you might want to tune into that. So, again, thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you all next time. Have a good one, folks.